Okay, so this is a short story. Well, an excerpt from a novel actually called Hope Was Here. It's about a girl who has to move. And we're going to read this and we're going to look for flashbacks and think about what does the flashback mean? In other words, like what is the author using the flashback to say? So this is about Hope. She is going to move. We walked across the street to the old Buick that was packed to the hilt with everything we owned and had a U-Haul trailer chained to the back. It was May 26. We were heading to Mahoney, Wisconsin, to start work in a diner there that needed a professional manager and cook, Addie, who was short on waitresses, me, and was giving us an apartment. The man we were going to work for had been diagnosed with leukemia and needed help fast. I don't mean to sound ungenerous, but working for a close-to-dying man didn't sound like a great career move to me. I had to leave school right before the end of my undistinguished sophomore year, too. I hate leaving places I love. We were about to get into the car just as Morty the cab driver double-parked his yellow taxi. Good old Morty. The first time I waited on him, he unloosened his belt a notch before he even looked at the menu. I knew I had a true believer. I raised my hand to a great tipper. "You always took care of me, kid." He shouted this from across the street as a UPS truck started honking at him to move his cab. "I tried, Morty. Wherever you go, you'll do okay. You got heart." The UPS driver screamed something heartless at Morty, who screamed back, "Watch your mouth, big man in a brown truck." I didn't know what kind of customers I'd get in Wisconsin. So I'm going to pause right there. I noticed that this right here, this is a flashback, where she remembers the first time I waited on him. Definitely a signal phrase. So now I want to think about what does this flashback say? Like, what is the author trying to say? I feel like in this flashback, she talks about like how much she appreciates Morty. So I feel like it emphasizes that she is concerned about the type of customers she'll have in Wisconsin because she really likes her customers here. She's really attached to them, so she's worried about what's going to happen in the future. I feel like that's what the flashback is trying to say, is Hope is concerned about her customers in the future. Okay, so now we're going to read the next section, and after I read this next section, it's your job to figure out what the flashback means. She, as in Addie, grabbed my hand and gave it a squeeze. Addie never promised that life would be easy, but she did promise that if I hung with her, the food would be good. Believe me when I tell you, I know about survival. I was born too early and much too small, 2 pounds and 5 ounces. For the first month of my life, I kept gasping for air like I couldn't get the hang of breathing. I couldn't eat either, couldn't suck a bottle. The doctors didn't think I would make it. Shows what they know. My mother didn't want the responsibility of a baby, so she left me with Addie, her older sister, and went off to live her own life. I've seen her exactly 3 times since I was born, when she visited on my 5th, 8th, and 13th birthdays. Each time she talked about being a waitress. What made a good one? Great hands and personality. What were the pitfalls? Crazy cooks and being on your feet all day. What was the biggest tip she ever got? $300 from a plumber who had just won the instant lottery. Each time she told me, "Hon, I'm leaving you. Leaving you with Addie was the best thing I could have done for you. You need constance in your life." She had a different hair color each time she said it. Addie's been my #1 constant. Because of this, I don't buy into traditional roles. My favorite book when I was little had pictures of baby animals, like foxes and lambs and ducklings, who were being raised by other animals, like dogs, geese, and wolves. Addie said it was our story. So, I feel like there's several flashbacks in here. I feel like there's, like, when I was little, there's this little story about how she was a baby. There's this story about her mom coming to visit. So, pick any of those 3 flashbacks. What do you think they mean? What is the author using them to say? Pause the video, discuss about it. And then I'm going to divide you into breakout groups, and you're going to finish reading this, and then in your breakout groups, you are going to talk about You're going to finish reading it, and then you're going to talk about what is the memory moment or flashback. We're going to call them flashbacks, but they're also known as memory moments. What is the author using this memory moment to convey? How does this flashback fulfill its purpose? What do all the flashbacks we've seen in this excerpt show us about Hope as a character? So you're going to finish reading the story, talk about it in your breakout groups. Please turn on your video so everybody can see you, so people know you're there, so it's easier to start talking. And then we'll come back together, and make sure you're prepared to share with the class at least one thing your group talked about, because I'm going to be calling on you guys. Okay? Fun stuff.